about how youth can use sports not just as a pastime, but as a lifeline where you gain confidence, they gain belonging, and they gain direction. Sports keep you busy in the best possible way and steer you away from temptations that destroy so many lives. Community sports is not just creating athletes, but creating a better future. In studio, we have counterpart Jamie. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's lovely to be here and such an important topic as well. We're looking so forward to chatting about it today.
Exactly. Where's Mum?
Mom's not here today, unfortunately,
No one's there to back me up. No one's there to say, yeah. So now it's like three of the counterparts, the youth, against me. Maybe our tech only will back me up. Yeah, this topic is so important. Before we could start, we were just talking to
Liam, yeah.
And Liam and Kyle, that, things are quite bad in lots of communities and areas. And what do we do as leaders, as motivational coaches, as parents, as the elders of the community? What can we do to keep the children, when I'm talking specifically, you could say like from 15 to like about maybe 25 or 35 off the streets, doing all the ills of society? That's a hard one.
It is definitely a hard one. And to answer you, I actually want to mention a video that I saw, and someone was doing scientific research, and it was with the rats. Not that I'm comparing rats to children, but what they found was they spiked some of the water when the rat was isolated, and they found that the rat was very likely to become addicted and lean towards a substance that had this addictive substance in it. But when in the cage they gave the rat friends or other rats and a whole bunch of activities to do, the rat was less likely to be drawn to that. And I feel the same goes for our children in so many ways. We need to give them the tools in order to cope, in order to want to do these things. I think that it does start with the parents. We got to pave that way for them.
But lots of our youth don't even have parent involvement. That is so hard. Jamie, tell us, how did you get involved in the youth? I mean, you are quite involved with the youth.
Yes, so it's funny that you're asking this on today.
I'm interviewing my co-host before she interviews the guest.
Yes. So you're
it's
talking
nice
about
for our listeners to get to know what you do.
No,
you're not just a pretty face there.
No. I appreciate that. So how Tutsa actually started was my mom decided that we were going to go onto the school grounds and do fitness training, and then we linked that to a life skills development topic, and we just started teaching each other there. So my brother would do the fitness, and from there we started realizing, first of all, how so many children are lacking simple basic life skills. But my mom also noticed how the youth simply have nothing to do, and that's the reason why they may be sitting on the street corners or turning to other things. So we started going about it from there. Eventually from there, my mom asked them, have you guys ever been to an old age home? Have you ever fed the needy? And from there we started doing things like that to hopefully get the youth to do the same thing that we do. Our hope is that you can see we can do it, anybody can do it,
Yeah. Do you know, from your experience, how is community sports changing the youth's lives today?
So in so many different ways, I constantly talk, especially on the show, about emotional regulation, that not just the youth, but a lot of adults in today's society, because of many different reasons, we grow up and we don't know how to emotionally regulate ourselves. So this is just one of the many reasons that sports can impact us, whether it be we are youth or an adult. So I feel that sports gives us, first of all, that space to feel our emotions, to take a breath, or even just that space to take care of ourselves. I also talk about how I feel that all of these choices, the wrong choices, so to speak, come from maybe not knowing yourself or not knowing how to stand firm in yourself. And I feel that sports paves the way for that.
Yeah. 100%. Well, if you want to get the kids off the street, if you want to get the young adults, and if you look at it, the norm now due to unemployment between the ages of like 17 to like probably even 30 on street corners, they're wearing the designer clothes.
Yes.
But who's really paying for everything? It's like a quick buck here, and that street corner or hanging out is also leading them to make quick money.
Yes.
The wrong way.
Yes.
The wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
And, lots of parents will say, my child will never do this. No, they go. But do you know what your child does when you are so busy caught up with your own stresses and your own emotions and problems? What is your child really doing? Did you ever try to like follow your child and see? I know many years ago, a colleague of mine's, someone told her that her child smokes weed every single morning. She lost it. She threw the bin at her neighbor's house, can never be. And you're just jealous because I have a better house and my son is very good looking and he goes to a very posh private school. And her husband, while driving home, I think he forgot to, something happened. I think it was an iron. And he saw at about 9:15, his son sitting with some guys in some gully near a dilapidated telephone booth. And he actually turned his car around and it was his son.
Oh, wow.
So he phoned his wife and the first thing she did was shocked. She actually like apologized to the neighbor. Now you see, that's like an example of what's going on.
Yes. I think it's sad to see the lack of accountability, or even I think it's important for parents to teach kids accountability. So you have to be held responsible for your actions, and a lot of parents, not all parents, but a lot of parents are quick to excuse them. Yeah.
Do you know, last week a message came through while we were talking about our topic which we were doing. I feel even the young adults need to be responsible. No one in South Africa is very responsible for anything. Teachers, we got heads turning and agreeing. We got the youth agreeing with me. Yeah, teacher. We have, if a teacher whacks a child, the police is there. If a parent shouts a child, child line, they know all the telephone numbers. We have young adults. I'm talking again from like 18, early 20s, unemployed, sitting at home, wanting money to go out, a parent trying to give. In their mind, they still see their child like someone who's like maybe 15, but now all of a sudden they're 25. And then you discover, something's wrong. Then they discover they got a grandchild. This is the harsh reality of the youth. And parents always ask, like, where did we go wrong? What's going wrong? Well, we have two guests in studio. I'll do Kyle. Kyle, welcome to Youth Frequency.
Thank you so much. I'm very blessed to be here today.
Thank you so much, especially on a Friday, because you're a personal trainer and a fitness coach. So I know definitely Friday is probably one of the activities you are involved in.
Today has actually been a pretty quiet day for personal training. I think today I just needed to take a bit of time off because life is hectic, and this week has had me literally in a grip, and I just needed to relax today. But I'm honestly just blessed to be here with you guys.
Thanks so much. And I know you have so much to share with us. So tell us what you do.
So I'm a personal trainer. It's not just a physical thing for me, to be honest, because honestly the gym has saved my life. I would be a lot further worse off than I am right now without the gym. It is a lot more of a mental thing. It's not just a physical. I like to tell people that it's emotional and spiritual. There's a whole lot of realms that your actual training develops into. So I think that going into a gym, getting physically active really boosts your discipline, especially at a young age with the youth not having anything to do. I think the gym is really a good starting point.
Kyle, how old are you?
I'm 25 years
You're
old.
25. Yes. Perfect age. Tell us, if you don't mind.
Yes.
I always say this. People say, let them go through it and learn from their experience. But I feel if we can learn from someone else's experience, we know there's a crocodile in the river and people got bitten. We're not going to go. Let's know what's going on. So tell us a little bit about your journey, how the gym saved you and what you've been going through.
Okay, so I mean, as a young man growing up with a single mom, it was a bit more tough, obviously, not having a father figure around, which is important in a young man growing up, because you need those values and morals installed into a young man. But my mom, not saying that she didn't do a good job, she's done an amazing job. But for me, getting into the gym in about 2020, really started to really take to the actual physical activity. And in 2022, I studied to become a personal trainer. And from there, I didn't look back because of how I actually took to the physical training, and not just the physical training, but the mental change that happened within me as well.
So, it's a lot of discipline because you need to be a role model and we need to look at you and say, wow, we want to be fit. So there's a lot of discipline.
Yes.
That's from your lifestyle, from everything.
From your eating to your sleeping to everything.
Even from partying.
Yes.
So no, and like lots of parents say, oh gosh, my child isn't working, they're unemployed, but they want to go to the gym in the morning and they want to go in the gym in the afternoon, but they're not working. What's your take on that? What advice do you have for the parents of young adults?
Not to say that only gymming is a bad thing, but honestly, everything in moderation is key. You obviously need to get into a career that's going to help you, because the gym is not going to get you to where you need to be if you are not doing well in your actual career. So I just think that people need to really focus on what's going to take them further in life. The gym can be a part of it, but of course your gymming is just going to filter into everything else in your life. And if you're doing well in your gymming, you're doing well in your career, you're eating well, you're feeling good, nothing can really stop you, and your confidence will just grow stride by stride.
Do you know, hardcore reality, yeah? Holidays are coming, silly season. Lots of the youth are bored, totally bored, totally bored. You guys know what's happening there. Let's give our parents, let's give our everyone out there tips to look at.
Well, what I always say for kids, whether it be teenagers, young adults, I think in general the human brain responds better to making things a little bit more fun, or maybe not as serious. So this will really need to maybe learn to bridge the gap, or because everybody has different sorts of relationships. But if parents, you can somewhat find a way to bridge that gap, or make whether it be activities like sports or going out as a family and just doing something fun in a safe way, simply just also pave the way to show them that you can have fun in a safe way.
Yeah. Well, we got a handsome dude sitting next to you and he's hardcore. He's going to tell us, well, you can go ahead, Jamie.
Yes, I also think he's very handsome. Thank you, Sumaya.
You know what? This is Youth Frequency. We're keeping it real. We're not covering anything. So if you are at home and never go out, I know it's thundering and lightning. What they say, doom.
Yes.
Tune in to Youth Frequency on 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. Come on, listen to us.
So, Liam, how are you doing today?
Well, and you, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Such a pleasure to have you on.
Such a pleasure to be here.
So, as you know, the topic today, we're specifically talking about how sports can save the youth. So what do you feel from your experience, whether with the youth or maybe even when you were a youth, what would your experience be with that? Have you personally maybe witnessed how this can happen?
So from a very young age, I've been involved in sports and cultural activities. My parents always made sure to have me in some sort of extramural activity. Growing up, they believed that you needed to have balance. As much as you need to be in your books when you're younger and working hard at school, it's also important to be engaged in some sort of cultural or extramural activity. So from youth, it was playing club football within the area. Then I did dance for a couple of years. Then I went to do athletics for a little bit, then I played music for a bit, and then back to running. So I find that it's a positive outlet for people, for young people especially, to get involved in. You can make some really good lifelong friends. There's a good set of morals that you can take out of sports, because it teaches you a lot of discipline and how to show up every single day, even on the days that it gets tough. It's really important. And I think those are sort of the pillars that you want to help mold your kids around. So, yeah.
So, Liam, it's Friday. My 32-year-old, example, husband and his brother, 25-year-old, wants to go out to Florida Road. They're just going to chill in a lounge somewhere. You're laughing. Should we believe them? I mean, every corner you go, there's a weed place. There's a cannabis place. And, when we're talking about youth, we're not talking about a specific race, a specific religion, a specific culture. The youth is a culture on its own. So you will see probably an Indian girl probably wearing an Eastern outfit. You'll see a Muslim girl wearing a scarf. You'll probably even see someone who just came from the church across the road on Florida Road sitting and really smoking cannabis, and these are like young people. This has become the norm for the youth and many since cannabis is legal. It's the gateway to so many other drugs. Now, come on, I know your your colleagues, your friends, around the same counterparts, ages.
Mhm.
You've watched some of their journeys where they just, flipped over.
Mhm.
What do you all feel? What I just said.
For the most part, yes, it can be true. And when it comes to our colleagues and friends, I had a conversation with one of my young schoolboy soccer mates, his mom, and she was talking to me, and she was like, it's very strange to see how, as the kids grow up, they were involved in sports, but when they become their own adults, they sort of maybe go off on their own path. And it's just interesting to see how everyone goes their own way. And she said her son, unfortunately, had strayed down a path that she didn't really approve of. And it had gotten so bad to a point that, like you say, it is a gateway. And he had gone into other substances, and he had really wrecked his life. Not really wrecked his life, but he had gone down a path that was a very difficult one to come back from. But there is hope, there is hope within that. And it's very easy to fall down those paths, especially with social pressures from your peers and stuff like that. They make it so easy to, come out to this place, have a drink with us, or have this, this piece of cannabis brownie or whatever, and you can sort of fall down that path, and then it's just a cascading effect. It becomes a snowball. So it's really easy to fall into that kind of behavior.
And now sports, how we don't have money to just save the youth. Parents are working, busy, but sports, how is sports, Kyle and Liam, how is sports going to save the youth? I mean, right now listeners are thinking, how is sports going to save the youth? Can you tell us more about that?
Well, I personally think youth that have a good environment and a good support structure are always going to succeed in life. And that's what sports bring. It brings structure to young people's lives. And honestly, I'm a big football fan. I can live and die on the indoor football pitch. And honestly, it's just about having that support structure that you can depend on your teammates, who becomes more like family at the end of the day after a long season of putting a tackle in for him here and there. So yeah, I just think it's really just about having good structure, having a good environment, because you always say you become your environment, and it's really important to have a good environment so that you flourish and grow.
Well, I love what you just said. You become your environment. So we need to change the environment. And you guys, and even this elder youth, who are good soccer players and in so many other fields when it comes to sports, they have started coaching. I've noticed the trend going. They have started coaching the youth, especially like the youth who are involved in stuff, or instead of sending them to rehab, parents are taking this avenue, and it seems to be working.
No, 100%. I agree with what Kyle said about the environment. I believe so much that the people that you associate yourself with is so important. And I think that's why earlier I brought up the experiment with the rats. So yes, your environment is very important, but also the people that you are surrounding yourself with. So with sports, you are learning about teamwork, you're learning about people. Those are things that you can't just learn anywhere else in life. And it definitely will not only build you as a person, but as I'm saying, your people skills for you to work with other people. And it just opens up other doors for you.
Okay. Liam, what differences do you see between youth who are involved in sports and the youth which are not involved in sports? You see it all around you. What differences can you see? And yet they're coming from the same community, same environment. What's the change?
For one, there's a lot of confidence in the young people who are involved on the sports field or working to be competitive. They're also very goal driven in their own ways. They're always after something within that sports field. I think that's one thing that's really cool about sports is it's competitive. So everyone's out there trying to give their best. And that's a really positive mindset and behavior to breed within younger people. With those who are not involved, sometimes you find that people don't have direction. They may be a bit idle. And boredom can be a very dangerous thing for a lot of people. I know people who have a lack of an outlet within their lives, whether it be sports or some cultural activity. And you really see the toll that it takes on them with their need for being chronically online and engaging in the social media space, which can also be so depleting and dangerous in itself. but the main things would be confidence and discipline, and just the way that people carry themselves when they're involved within or outside of these activities.
I think what it also helps is just to understand yourself better, to form a better relationship with just us as humans. And I think that's why you also spoke about the confidence. I feel that if you don't really know yourself, you can't really know others. So it's just, I feel it impacts your overall quality of being a human being.
Exactly. And these young adults are going to be parents one day.
Yes.
They are our leaders. We talk about South Africa being corrupt, we speak about the unemployment, but these young adults are going to be the future adults, leaders, who can bring change. Let's look at this. A message came through. Everyone wants to be a soccer player. And it's quite popular in South Africa, where a lot of the young adults, probably like around 17 or 18, they go to soccer clubs in America, and they have this dream. But the parents are like working really hard to send them there. They've been accepted, but the funding and everything. And a couple of years later, they come back down to South Africa, and then they are unemployed, looking for a job and trying to what they say, hustle. Yeah. So do you guys know anyone who have been in similar situations?
Well, I have friends who have gone overseas and are waiting clubs, but those people are very positive individuals, very driven individuals. So they really do have that spirit that is very hard to break, or at least that's how they put themselves out there. So they just move into the next thing and try and keep pushing and keep going forward until something works for them. I think when you're at that level that you're going to go overseas and play as an elite athlete, I think in America they call it D1, Division 1 athletes. You really have to have a different type of mindset, which Carl was talking about earlier. And they're so driven and so confident within themselves that they really, when they come home, even if things haven't worked out overseas, they sort of hustle over here at home and they find their way. It's a very inspiring thing to see, but it's not always the case for a lot of them.
Yeah, it's like you are so confident at times. You think like you're going to be chosen for some club and paying you like millions of rands. I mean, for the youth, some of them, the ego just grows and grows, and they don't realize like I might not be.
Yes.
And when they are not, and they come back home, depression kicks in, and then just lazing, and they're like, the years go by, they're like looking for a job and stuff like that. There, Kyle, personal trainer. You're a personal trainer, and you're a fitness coach.
Yes.
Tell us, what does that entail?
Okay, so how would you like from the beginning of when I meet someone to the whole process?
Okay, something like, tell us about what it entails, and also amongst the youth.
Yes.
There's lots of young adults who have the qualities to be fitness coaches and to be a personal trainer, but they don't know it. Like they may be, so disciplined, a gym fanatic, like everyone's becoming a content creator and thinking like, gosh, I'll make money on the side. So tell us about what you do, your profession, and what advice you have for those who are so good in sports and fitness.
Okay, so starting out as a personal trainer was pretty difficult. I can't lie. I am an entrepreneur, don't work for anyone. So that is already another pressure which I've accepted with all my might, because I really want to make this work. And being a personal trainer, I feel like it's more than just the physical, like I said before. It's more of changing people's lives, because a lot of people come to me depressed and sad and have no motivation within them or self-drive. And I feel like it's more than just a physical thing. You really have to connect with the person in order to get them to do things, because not everyone's going to come there with that motivation within them to want to train. Because I've had plenty clients who just show up, do a little bit of this and then leave. And then that's not really going to get you to your goal that you really want to achieve. So it's really about changing lives. That's my number one priority. As long as I can touch you in a positive way, that's literally my job done. And the rest of the journey is all up to you, because it is a self journey. Being a personal trainer, you're not going to be with me forever. So yeah, it's just really, really personal, and hopefully everyone that does see me and come and train with me has a good opportunity and a good experience with me as well.
Okay. For our young adults, the youth who are listening to us, right? Let's be hopeful now, and let's give them that confidence. We said straight from the streets into the stadiums. How can we make that possible?
There's quite a few sporting social initiatives happening. So I'm from Wentworth, and we have a couple clubs, and in my own experience, I run. So within Wentworth, there's these two initiatives, and one is Wings Athletics Club, which is an ASA registered Athletics South Africa registered athletics club, and then there's We Run as Exe, which is a social running club. Now the whole
Run as Exe.
We Run as Exe, yes.
I like that. You know what's missing?
What?
Exe Owen.
So I'm a part of both of those. From a club point to compete in races and stuff, I run under Wings, and from a social perspective, I run under We Run as Exe. And these initiatives are there in place to sort of help people who want to, fulfill the desire to be in a extramural activity, but also to give people a common place to find their own tribe. Your vibe will bring your tribe. And within the social club, the vibe there is making a safe space for all paces and faces. So it doesn't matter what background you come from, as long as you're willing to be fit and be on the road and want to run and build the community, you're welcome there. So there's initiatives like that.
And, that's like getting people off the streets to get involved. Like if you drive down, just say in different areas, you'll see young adults between probably the age of like 17 to like 25 or even 30 practicing soccer or some fitness. And then you realize, but what if they were not doing this? How many of them would probably just being couch potatoes or just lazing away or being bored and tempted to do something, which is not right?
Yes, no, I definitely agree with you. And I personally feel that people are drawn to things for nothing. And especially for the youth listening, we just want to encourage you. As we said, there's initiatives out there. There are ways to do it if you're feeling drawn to it. And let's just say we spoke about the people who go and come back. It's about keep on pushing, keep on putting yourself out there. There are ways to do it, and you're not drawn to it for nothing. But also give yourself those do what you can do to build yourself, to give yourself these skills, whether it be just basic life skills like confidence, like that discipline, in any way that you can. It'll benefit you.
So sports makes you disciplined.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. It makes you disciplined. So like I know a lot of young athletes, they have to go to bed quite early if they're training. Tell us the discipline aspects.
I would assume there's a strict regime within the actual system that the family is putting them under, like eating a certain amount, because as an athlete, you are needing to fuel your performance. And if your performance is dipping, then something is not working correctly for you. And obviously, there needs to be a lot of training behind the scenes, waking up early, late nights. So there's a lot that goes into actually getting to that place. But I remember that I had a couple of friends who tried to do the whole professional football career, gone overseas, come back, and then not really having any educational format to actually fall on and have something to back them, because obviously football is not a long career. Most players don't play longer than 10 to 20 years maximum. And I'm talking about the elites that really do actually get into the professional space. So yeah, it's just there's a lot that goes into actually wanting to become a professional athlete.
Do you know, in lots of communities, you see retired athletes, you see retired soccer players, well-known people who are getting involved in universities, tertiary institutions, even schools, trying to keep the youth busy. This is community work. It's not paid work. And a lot of people will say, why should I do that? But they don't realize the impact you have in doing something which even takes 2 hours once a week. 2 hours once a week. What impact does it have on the community as such?
So when it comes to just potential for what that 2 hours could bring, you could be changing someone's life without you even knowing it. You could be changing someone's whole way of thinking, changing the whole perspective on things, to the point that their decision making now changes. Instead of going to go and sit and maybe smoke with someone, now they want to practice outside of those 2 hours that you spent with them. Now they're on the road 4 days a week, you know, putting in a speed session or doing a long run or something like that. Now they're getting up early on a Saturday morning at 4:30 in the morning. Who knows why, but to go and run, 20 kilometers back and forth. And, just your 2 hours of inspiration, just getting them really excited about something could result in a whole host of cascading positive behaviors forming. So,
you guys are passionate. You all are young leaders. Now, going to communities where we're going more towards the children, the teenagers, you guys can make a difference. If you have, how do you put, an uncle or an auntie going to talk to the youth, they're not going to listen to you. But if you guys go, they'll listen to you and they'll want to do something. And I've noticed a lot of religious organizations, the mosque, the church, a lot of people same with even you guys, but it's
Tutsa, yeah.
Tutsa, where you can go and spend that 2 hours or even with the youth, like training them, like Kyle is good in just say running. So he goes to this local community, get the kids and meets them and starts training. It makes a difference. Getting the youth involved. One of our guests was supposed to come on today. Shame his mum passed away. So probably he'll be joining us in weeks to come. And he was going to talk about that, how we can get the children, the youth, the young adults off the streets into the stadium. And then he started explaining, and then looking at influential people, business people, putting up sports structures. I know now stadium's a bit far-fetched, but in communities which are in dire needs of this. What do you think of that?
I think it would be a really brilliant initiative. I think it also gives people hope for the idea that this is now tangible. It's not something that's so far-fetched. Having access to those facilities in front of youth and stuff like that would really inspire them and show them that this is an end goal. It's very necessary. A lot of people don't have money to get into a lot of the sporting codes that are there, and the barrier to entry can sometimes be a bit steep for some people, especially coming from impoverished backgrounds. There are sporting codes out there that obviously do offer a lower barrier to entry. But having these initiatives set up makes it a bit more possible. It creates equity within the community for young people to get involved. So I think they're so important.
So, do you think you guys, like who are involved with the youth and the younger youth, can probably get a Ronaldo or someone really good from that community?
Oh, 100%. I've seen it personally within our circles. There's some kids young as 8 who run with us, and they're just miles ahead of like some of the adults even. And you can just see, this person is going to grow up to be an elite athlete, or this person is going to grow up to be someone who's really going to be involved in the sports.
Imagine you're a young adult. Imagine if you never just say train or be with this 8-year-old. Life could just turn. It could have just been another way, because like when you look at children as young as 9 years, even 8 years, are caught with vape, cigarettes, and doing stuff which you would probably expect from teenagers. But by you guys, the young adults, being there and want to be part of change, you are doing change. You just don't realize it, just being good role models. Early on, before we could start the show, we were talking about communities where, you become, as Carl said, you become your environment. So if you have an environment, you're like 25 years old, you have an environment where smoking weed is accepted, not working, living off your granny's pension, stuff like that there, it's accepted. And they don't realize life doesn't have to be like that, because but that culture in that area, that's the norm. How do we break that, guys? How can we break that?
I think The youth need to obviously take accountability, like we've been saying. Living off your grand's pension is not something that you should be proud of. I think everyone needs to build something for themselves. Everyone deserves to have an empire that they can build, so that in the future that they have, the generations that do come are not lagging or lacking behind. They have. And I think that's what a lot of people don't have right now. And like we are talking about the structure and the sporting initiatives, that would really spark some real hope within the actual communities and really bring some hope for the people that something good is coming.
Now, you can say that again. I mean, the last 2 years, you'd say everywhere you go, there's a paddle court.
Yeah.
So what is paddle? If you can't play tennis or you can't play squash, it's in between. What is it?
It's on the fence.
It's like ping pong, but indoor version.
But how popular, and it's taking off by storm. I know a lot of paddle courts are having pop-ups. Families are coming. They're having tournaments. It's becoming like a Friday or a weekend outing. And you're getting like not only the youth, you're getting like even older people who want to be active. And what do you think is like soccer becoming like a little bit hush? No.
I think with the rise of paddle, I've thought about this for some time now. I think what's interesting about paddle is that as opposed to soccer, you have these established stars and these established leagues. So there's sort of a hierarchy within that. But with paddle being so new, we haven't seen the dawn of the paddle influencer or the paddle star yet. So it allows for people to sort of get involved while paddle is in its infancy and sort of grow with the sport. And then you don't know, everyone has the potential to sort of be the next paddle star. So I think that's what's so interesting about it.
Yeah. So we definitely want to see that. And what are the prices of those paddle bats?
Madness.
You can buy a third-hand car. I was like shocked because I know my brother's in Johannesburg and they play it for fun. I mean, everyone, and without realizing it, they ended up playing nationally, and they get like so like into this game. It's like you have to win and you have to perform, and as you say, discipline plays there. Discipline comes in. And what about spirituality? How important, when you look at it today in our youth, as I said, the youth is a culture on its own. Do you feel that they're moving away from going to the mosque, going to the church, attending family religious gatherings? Do you feel that plays a role also in the ills of society amongst the youth?
So I definitely do feel that it plays a huge role in it, especially nowadays. It seems that the youth especially is just drifting further and further away from that and just more to a worldly point of view. But I'm always someone that I genuinely do have a lot of belief and a lot of hope. So what I will also say is that when it comes to spirituality, regardless of your religion, God is within us and God is one with us. So we can stray however far from it. And I'm not encouraging anyone to do that. Where you can not do that, don't do that. But no matter how far you stray, every single path will always lead you home. So if you can rather cultivate that relationship with God or with your religion, however you are currently needing that, then do so, because it makes our journey so much easier.
And it took so many to learn it the hard way.
100%.
Like when you're all out and down, it's only the Almighty who can take you out of that situation.
Yes.
100%.
So you guys going to Florida Road after this? It's the teacher in me will come out and say, "Oh God, look at that child! I thought that child. Look at they're smoking weed." But do you all think there's going to be change in our country? I mean, when you're looking from the unemployment rate, from being in motivating the younger children from the youth, do you guys see change, or you'll just see the youth go? I'm talking about South Africa. You just see the youth going down, down, down.
So for me personally, I feel that if you choose not to have hope, then there will be no hope. But also it encourages me so much to see certain initiatives, whether it be with sports or just other things that are aimed towards the youth. I do definitely feel that there's a lot of hope, a lot of people who are very passionate about them. And I do definitely feel that there is change on the rise.
Well, we'll be taking a short ad break.
اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم حرر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المرابطين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم شد أزرهم وسدد رميهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم الطف بإخواننا في كل مكان يذكر فيه اسمك يا أرحم الراحمين. استنصروك يا الله فانصرهم. اللهم ارحم الضعفاء والفقراء والمساكين والأيتام والنازحين والمشردين والأسرى يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم أنج المستضعفين من المسلمين في فلسطين. اللهم كن لهم عونا ونصيرا. اللهم كن لإخواننا المرابطين في المسجد الأقصى. اللهم كن لهم ولا تكن عليهم. اللهم فرج همهم، نفس كربهم، داوي جرحاهم، عاف مبتلاهم، اشف مرضاهم، ارحم موتاهم، تقبل شهداءهم.
Time for a kitchen update? Head down to Simplex Radio's Black November sale. Get grilling with the Philips 6.2-litre air fryer at just $7.59. Save with the Media 20-litre microwave oven at only $6.99.
Bake up a treat with the Kenwood Home Bake Stand Mixer at just $17.99.
And have breakfast in style with the Smeg kettle or toaster now at the low price of just $25.99 each.
Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
Discover the breathtaking beauty of Pakistan with Show Mirage Travel. From the vibrant streets of Islamabad to the magical valleys of Naran, Hunza and Skadu. This is a journey you'll never forget. Enjoy return airfares from Johannesburg, 10 nights deluxe accommodation, daily breakfast and dinner, round-trip transport and guided sightseeing. All from just $29,999 per person sharing. Book today. Call 031-208-4222 or visit www.miragetravel.co.za or follow Show Mirage Travel on social media. Show Mirage Travel, your journey to wonder begins here.
Kunutu Nazilaj, proudly brought to you by Nona's Italian Kitchen, Strata Street Food, and the Magnum Capino Treat Store. Oh Allah, guide me and grant me well-being with those whom you have granted well-being.
اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك وإنه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عاديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت.
Kunutu Nazilaj, proudly brought to you by Nona's Italian Kitchen, Strata Street Food, and the Magnum Capino Treat Store. Oh Allah, guide me and grant me well-being with those whom you have granted well-being.
Craving bold flavors with a twist? Strata Street Food, where neon lights meets delicious bites, from sizzling burgers and crispy Korean wings, cheesy pizzas and golden nachos. Every bite is a journey. Don't miss our famous Tremazzini sandwiches. Bring your appetite and your squad and swing by Strata Street Food, where every meal feels like a celebration.
And don't forget to tell Mommy and Daddy to take you to Capino for the yummiest ice cream and a whole candy wonderland.
Strata Street Food. Taste the vibe. Taste the tradition.
In South Africa, countless numbers of sick patients leave their homes at the crack of dawn to join long queues at clinics and public hospitals, many of them suffering pangs of hunger in addition to the symptoms of disease. The Al Imdad Foundation's Slice for Life teams deliver sandwiches to these patients at more than 40 hospitals and clinics across the country. Help us to keep on relieving hunger. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Audio stream across the world on radioalansar.co.za.
If you wanna look amazing, lady, you know what you gotta do right now. Cover up your beauty for the Almighty.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Youth Frequency. Yes, a topic which we can go on and on. Jamie and Kyle, come on, let's have that argument now. You know, we said if you want to destroy a nation, you destroy the youth. And Jamie says the youth.
Yes, I believe that the youth will be the ones to save us.
To save us.
Yes.
And Kyle? Honesty.
Liam.
Yes, we have to save them first, and then they'll be the ones to save us. Otherwise, we'll get thrown in the old age home if we don't.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys are the youth, are the youth. So you need to save the younger.
Ones, yeah.
100%.
I think we're in a very unique position as those of us who are, in that age gap from 25 to 30, especially when it comes to the younger youth. We are in a position now where we can inspire them. We sort of can appear to them as role models. And if we take the opportunity now and we seize this moment and we really work with, in these community initiatives and stuff like that, we may be able to see some reasonable change within the next couple of years. You don't know whose life you may impact.
Yeah.
100%. Yes. So I feel with that said, be the change you want to see. If you are listening, especially if you are an older youth or even an adult, it costs nothing. And it's, it might seem not easy to change someone's life, but if you change one person's life, that's a whole life. So do what you can.
Exactly.
I really think we as the elder youth, like you said, Sumaya, we really have a unique opportunity, and we have the mantle now to actually rear the new youth coming up and make sure that they are doing the right things, surrounded by the right environments, and just growing into the people that they need to be. And just so we can encourage them, don't give up on yourselves and always put your best foot forward, and 1% is better every day.
Well, guys, you know what? It was a great show, and we could go on and on. Thank you so much, especially Friday night. You're not at Florida Road. You're sitting in Youth Frequency. But you know what? The guys who are listening to us, you could have saved somebody. You don't even know it. They could say, let me start doing a sports. Let me start gymming. No, let me not hang with that friend who is like 30 years old and still unemployed and still doing crap. And that's the harsh reality.
It is.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Monley, our tech. He's thoroughly enjoying the show. Probably we'll rope him in to be part of it. Well, we've come to the end of tonight's show. Yes, straight from the streets to the stadium. Sports is powerful. Getting involved in your community, staying active and playing sports can keep our youth focused, safe and off the streets. The holidays are coming and boredom is real. So if you find yourself with too much time, don't do anything that harms you or your body. Yeah, it's about you. And remember, stay in the game, not in the blame. Choose the field, not the flame. Your future is bright. Keep your goals in sight. Next time you can wrap that. From me, Sumaya Khan. Okay, yes, there's a message. My aunties, Farida and Ruqayya from Clayton Road, say hello to all the youth, our future leaders. The aunties' message for the boys. Remember, safety is our number one priority. Jazakallah fam. Ganja advice. Ganja. Gosh, you guys know what is ganja? Well, we'll talk about that next week. From me, Sumaya Khan, have a great weekend. Assalamu alaikum.
Right now, your hijab is your crown. We all sing and you wear it to serve it.